Um, I first met Lyle 26 years ago in 1981. I was 16, and as far as I was concerned, he was Errol Flynn. Or at least I thought he was. I met him on stage at Saddleback College while he was building a two-story set. He was wearing a World War II sailor's cap, cappy pants, and jumping from platform to platform with a huge claw hammer in his hand. Now, for those of you who have known Lyle over the past 10 years, the idea of Lyle leaping from anything to anything is probably hard to imagine. But back then, Lyle was magnificent. We were an odd couple as friends, but there was something about each other that we both needed. It's my simple belief that we both just needed a brother. I was the only child and needed an older brother to look up to, and he was the brother of all sisters, and I think he just needed a young brother to give crap to. And for the past 26 years, I can say that that's how we lived, as brothers. And as Lyle would say to most of my friends, Damon and I are brothers from different wombs. So I'm going to talk about Lyle as brother today, so if my voice cracks or if I can't finish the sentence, please forgive me. When I first started thinking about what I would say about Lyle, my thought was, oh dear God. I mean, seriously, how do you talk about Lyle Brooks? No matter how I thought of him or what subject I should talk about, it just never seemed to be enough. There's always so much more to Lyle. For example, I could say that Lyle was a great photographer, but that would certainly never be enough. I could say that he was a great painter, but that would never cover everything that he was. I could say that Lyle was a great sculptor, a builder, a humorist, and of course, a fashion icon. But that would never be enough. This really bothered me because I wanted to stand here today and talk about Lyle in a way that would shake the heavens. I wanted my voice to be something like his. A friend, an old friend, posted on Facebook something that I think was so appropriate. She said, I only met Lyle at a few parties. I really didn't know him, but I loved him. And to me, that was Lyle. Lyle was an incredibly powerful man. He's the only man I know with a voice and laugh that could actually walk into a room 1 full minute before his body had actually gotten there. Another friend had asked me on hearing of his death, who is Lyle? And I turned and I said, well, Lyle was like a brother to me, and one of the most talented human beings I'd ever known. And then I stopped, and a voice popped into my head. And surprisingly enough, it sounded tremendously like Lyle. And all he could say was, really? That's all you got? That's it. So I stopped, and I thought about it for a second. And I hope that I sort of became Lyle for a moment and said it the way I think he would have. So I turned to my friend and I said, Lyle Brooks was one of the greatest characters of our time. If you'd only met him briefly, I would guarantee that you would never forget him. And I truly believe that Lyle was seduced by an angel. And as a gift, the angel kissed Lyle and bestowed onto him the great raw talent and told him to do as he wished with it. Later, the father of the angel, after hearing about the affair, banished Lyle to a little-known planet called Earth to serve his time and punishment. The little voice in my head said, see, now, was that so hard? So Lyle was born into the world with a great gift, a gift that he shared with so many people for so long. On this very stage, tens of thousands of eyes over a decade have witnessed his gift and sat in awe of his talents and never knew who he was. I think you may see my dilemma about what to talk about. Lyle was so much more. And then it dawned on me, why was he a great person? Why was Lyle special? And then it all came together for me, remembering what I had said to my friend. Why did the angel kiss Lyle? Why do all of us hurt so much now that he's gone? Why was Lyle special? Because the truth is that even if he didn't have those talents, we would all still hurt as much as we do. So I thought, and I dreamt, literally. I am not kidding you when I say that a few nights ago I went to bed worrying about what I was going to say. And when I closed my eyes, there was Lyle. We were sitting together overlooking the ocean, and he was just smiling. Just smiling. And it dawned on me at that very moment what it was. It was so simple, and so beautiful, and so absolute. Lyle loved. He loved deeper and more passionately about everything and everyone that he touched. And as complicated as all of his talents seem to make him, and we all know that he always tried to fool people with that hard, evil thing that he loved to do, the fact was nobody was more passionate about everything than Lyle. The man did not take photographs. He loved photographs. He loved how the camera worked, what paper to put it on, the history of it. My man didn't like to paint. He loved to paint. He wanted to know how the paper was made, how the brushes were built. The man didn't just carve, he loved to carve. Whenever he did a piece here for the pageant, it wasn't just about making it look like the original. It was about finding the passion and the love that the original artist had for it that made it special. But most importantly, he loved people. He loved everything about us, as silly as we were. He loved to make us laugh. He loved to make us cry. He loved to make us think. If he was your friend, he was your friend for life. And if he disliked you, he loved that too. I know that he loved me, and I know that he loved my parents, and I know that he loves his family, and I know that he loved Terry very much. Because the fact is that Lyle, well, if I'm going to believe that Lyle was removed from heaven, then I have to assume that the last act was somebody kicking him in the ass. And if that was the last act, and not just being bestowed with great talent, he unfortunately was also bestowed with a degenerative hip. And I wish that all of you could have known him, and some of you certainly did, when he was still that magnificent young man. And for 26 years, I watched Lyle suffer. And very recently, there was a point in his life that was very, very dark and very, very sad.